Rescue, and with the start that Double Pony had over on Ancient, they should be able this evening to prove themselves as the better team, but they allow it to get close, and well, they almost let it slip away, as Alan has mentioned as well. Slightly less than perfect veto. We do have Nuke as the decider if it is required, but you feel like with the way that Anonymo came into that first map, it absolutely shouldn't be.
Very slow start from both teams. Look at the B stack from Anonymo. That's just that's just greedy, isn't it? Look at them all towards the back of the bomb site. There's a player in snacks in CT spawn taking contact. He'll throw nades. He'll bait them in, thinking it's a retake B sort of setup. And at the moment, they're flying ever so close to the Hornet's nest. Bomb is over on towards Banana. There is a player in Afro in towards the A apartments. If he can get some information, maybe he can call his teammates back. The smokes are starting to fly in. Oh, I'm getting really nervous now for the Double Pony guys. They're starting to seek into the bomb site's exercise. He's going to be the first point of contact as the flashes start to rain in, but with 3 players on the back of the bomb site. He does find the first, but it's immediately traded, and now on the flashbangs, these players can peek. But the bomb scriv is running back to A, and Afro's gained a lot of ground.
Yeah, you have this kind of difficulty very quickly, I think, where they reveal 3 players. Oh, and Afro. This spot is perfect. He's going to sacrifice his teammates, but even the flick across is magic. 2 versus 2. Definitely not won the round off the back of it, but made it look a lot more doable and given them some control on A. That's very, very, very important. Rotators coming in, of course, in the form of Kylar and Innocent. Everything was going their way. I think there is a key thing to remember here. Afro looking good. Of course, he is the man of the hour. Down to just Kylar. Smoke goes down. Body with the peak. That's the goosh. The wide swing will finish him off. And indeed, Double Pony find the pistol. I think your issue with the way they were setting it up, if they went quickly, I think Double Pony are kind of screwed. They did move quite fast, actually. But you have this player at CT, so that's 1. Then there's the player at second oranges who gets taken down without doing anything. That's 2. And then you have the new box player who swings out. That's 3. And 3's already too many for Double Pony, they feel, to go in. With a player on the lurk and players going down, they didn't want to commit into 3. And thankfully they didn't, because there was actually a 4th there. So the move back towards A, thanks to Afro, I think comes in because Anonymo maybe showed their cards a little bit too early. Or were forced, let's say, to play their hand, if we're going to continue the poker analogies.
Early entry picked up by Double Pony, but taking a lot of damage in the process, so a little bit worse for wear. A body and lucky Kylar eats an aid himself, so a lot of utility damage so far. Only the soul frag peeking out is Snatch. He's caught out in the open, and now it's just rallying on this bomb. So getting wrapped from so many directions, and he can't even find the first. It's going to be 2 for Double Pony. It was a back and forth pistol round, but this being all the more convincing, and it looks like they're going to keep a lot of numbers alive. So money in the bank for Double Pony. Already a map to the good and looking pretty nice so far here on Inferno.
Yeah, difficult, I think, in the beginning of this round where there was quite a bit of damage. And you can see how it could have been capitalized on. But unfortunately not the case. Just the 1 kill coming in. Doesn't really matter. Jocko is happy to go down there. Got himself a couple kills, etc., etc. So, Double Pony once again, all guns blazing, looking good. No real sweat off the brow, simple stuff as they move into round number 3. There will be a slight bit of pressure. What with these remaining 2 Deagles taking it through. Generally speaking, they should be able to fight through this pretty easily.
Couple of Eagles has saved over, so potentially Anonymo can look to do a little bit of work on those, but it's going to be tricky. 3 nades in play. Hopefully we see those stacked up. We're going to see that deep mid smoke coming out from Anonymo. That's what you can see just in front of body here. That's going to allow them to use those nades down mid. And they're starting to rain in, but such little damage actually done. And actually, it's the CT side that takes the pain, takes the nades. They go down early. Double Pony, they've put the brakes on. There's No need here to get overzealous, overeager. And unless they run into the stack, I think we're in store for a pretty boring round here.
Is indeed the case from time to time. Looks like they're going back towards A though, dude. So maybe we get some excitement. Still going to take their sweet time moving in though, as is the nature of Inferno. Sure, Semler would not be a big fan of all this utility usage. Seems to be one of the ideas that he's had during the major. However, it sets up the kills pretty easily. And in Double Pony's case, they are getting through this one scot-free. Maybe spoke a bit too soon. Will be the one kill that comes in off of a cheeky crossfire. Snatchy in the smoke. They kind of know it. Can't quite pin him down. Will catch one. Reloading, though. So 2 kills in a round like this is pretty good, to be honest with you. Double Pony, indeed, get up to number 3, but could have been a super scary T-side economy. At the moment, it's just a slightly scary one, as you would expect with 3 in a row. Either way, Anonymo onto the bye themselves.
What did Semler say? Give me the lowdown.
I think it's one of the recurring points, let's say, that he's had is in anti-eco rounds, particularly from the CT side, that he maybe thinks some teams are like overusing utility when they're against just pistols, a Glock round or whatever it may be. So, which I just personally I think is kind of interesting because I get where he's coming from in terms of the money and all this kind of stuff, but I don't see why you would restrict yourself in winning a round, no matter how big or small. You kind of don't want to take the risk of, if only being ever so slightly lower because of a nice nade that I could have thrown, you know?
Yeah, I think the argument is that a lot of teams end up playing super slow and passive on the anti-eco rounds because they're playing it so safe. And from that perspective, I'm guessing that's kind of Semler's main point, is that they're taking it too slow and slowly clearing out with nades. I see where he's coming from, and specifically with Endpoint, we've actually moved into really aggressive anti-eco rounds because I prefer playing that way in general versus always trying to do the slow defaults. But casting our attention back to this one, it's not been a brilliant gun round so far from Double Pony. Giving up a lot of opening picks, and Rallen's got a nice timing on the flankers. Falling apart so far are the Frenchmen on this round. They have got reasonable money in the bank, but it'll help a lot if Lucky can keep this AK going. It doesn't look likely. That's going to be the first round on the board for Anonymo, and importantly, they keep numbers alive. It's going to be much harder to get them back onto the eco now.
Yeah, very true, actually. Very, very true indeed. Anonymo with a great first rifle round, it has to be said. Now, it is kind of a tough one, I think, for Double Pony to break in. It felt, if you're a long-time watcher of Counter-Strike, that the round had leaned pretty heavily in their favor from the get-go. Early opener, big nade damage. Any team worth their salt perhaps should be converting that round. And there was no craziness to come in from Double Pony. No, triple kill from body this time. So, certainly something to consider. Snacks with the overstep. Something I think as he's moved into, not necessarily obscurity, but lesser teams than the VP lineup of old. He really has let his discipline fall by the wayside. He was never much of a disciplined player either, but swinging in quite quickly, gives him the first kill, leaves the B-bomb site vulnerable, as you can see, Innocent with a Molotov to just stop them planting for now, but the site itself has indeed fallen, and the retake, is it even going to happen? We've got a couple players over on A that are just setting themselves up for what looks like a save. I think they'll try and go for something early here, maybe through a smoke with the nades, etc. But if nothing comes, I think they have to save this, absolutely.
Yeah, especially they had 2 re-smokes for CT. The second has just gone down, and surely that is the nail in the coffin on this round. Somehow, what just happened? Was that a full wall bang through the smoke as well, for good measure? Interesting. Nevertheless, it still looks like it's going to be 4 players alive for both squads. Snatchy does have an opportunity. So Anonymo, they keep the guns going. It will be a full buy for them in the next round. So in that sense, we're not reaching panic stations just yet. But Double Pony, they're already up to 4 rounds on a very even map of Inferno. It's It's already starting to look a little bit scary. Anonymo, they look so good on the CT side of Ancient. It's time to replicate that now on Inferno.
Certainly looks like now is indeed the time. So, we'll see. I think Double Pony, nice from the get-go, but again, in the same way that Anonymo, it felt like they had perhaps been given the early advantage that they absolutely should convert. Similar story for Double Pony in that previous round. Oh, lucky. Tagged down pretty heavily, always nasty, I think, when you're down Banana and trying to get some aggression in. And just, you know, getting damaged by things that you can't really see, you can't really fight against. It can be a bit annoying. Flash going to come in here for him to clear the car angle, perhaps even the corner. Snatchy with a nice little pick onto Afro. And now that begins once again to spell disaster for Double Pony.
Retake nades coming out on B from Innocence. That's going to clear out that top car position. The concerning part is, though, Squiv, they've got all that information on B, and they still only have 2 on this A bomb, so I need to get this rotates over really quickly. Smoke's starting to land on A as well for good measure, and only now is Snack starting to make his way over. Still only 2 on the bomb site itself. So there is still an opportunity here for the Double Pony guys. Flash is starting to win in Brad, and he's up close. He dodges the flash, but is immediately traded. Kylar, he's in Graveyard. A nice position, but now they know exactly where he is. But it's not going to matter. The rotates have arrived just in time. And now it's just Body. He's lurked out towards Long, but what can he do? Snatch is posted on the cross. Might get a little bit of a shock as Body peeks out, but not to be so. Anonymo slip up a little bit in the last round, but they did the right thing. They saved the guns over, had another bite of the cherry this time around, and it works perfectly. Good round from the polls.
I feel like we will be getting a little bit more competition here by the looks of things. It doesn't look as panicked, you know, as wild. I think from either side, the aggression and whatnot is not making as much of a problem for the opposition, you know, as it were. The CT sides of both teams really, really difficult to crack through at the moment. It is swinging back and forth, which I'm a bit more of a fan of, in all honesty. Quick timeout coming in. Double Pony. One would imagine the half by Jocko is a bit screwed financially. Maybe they just send this to even the economy out. I don't know. What's your philosophy here? I often ask you this. Would you go for it or just half buy into this?
I'm trying to work out in my head what their loss bonus is right now. I think you buy, probably. I don't think their loss bonus is really built up at all. Sure, Anonymo, they've got some money in the bank, so you're not going to get off a full reset. But to be honest, in the current state of CS, if you get 2 rifles, some Tech 9s out, plenty of nades, you know, that's a pretty good buy. And you're on the T side, you send the AKs in first and trade them onto other players. But clearly, they've gone for the more conservative economic approach. And Rallen, he's enjoying the stat pad. Anonymo up to 3. Already a much more competitive game, and I think that was the point you were getting at a few seconds ago. Ancient felt like for both teams such a dominant CT side. There was very little back and forth in terms of rounds, and already here on Inferno, it feels like we're actually trading blows, and we could be in for much more of an exciting game.
Kind of what we're here for, to be honest with you. I think yesterday was very, very exciting. And
for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, indeed. Although the scoreline's kind of close, I think we did get a few exciting rounds in that previous map, but when it is so dominant, it can feel a little bit weird to work out. Oh, the collapse nearly there. The no-scope misses for Snatchy. And that could have been the round-winning play once again. They're trying to, you know, force the rounds in the first 30 seconds, I would say, is where these previous rounds are kind of being dictated. However, with a 4-on-4 as the dust settles, this one a little less easy to predict.
Yes, indeed. Long smoke coming out from Double Pony. They have banana control. So Anonymo lacking a lot of information at the moment. They haven't got eyes on banana or in towards mid just now. Bomb being retrieved. Well, that's heading over towards A. Again, Kylar, he's so isolated. Rallen's committed into the cubby. Oh, Rallen's got to pick a really nice time. He's going to go for the peak. It is a good one. And he finds a pair of frags, make it a third. Looked a little bit scary there with Kyler isolated, but Rallen, he's doing so much work, and you couldn't have asked for better timing.
Absolutely not. They were very much set up for this. And it does indeed go their way. Snatchy again. Nice to see from him. Unfortunately, not able to land the cheeky no-scope. But now that it gets to 4-4, I think Double Pony will start to sweat a little bit. I believe that timeout that we had previously was for them. So, pretty deadly stuff. Trying to go for the triple nades. We saw that yesterday work quite well. In fact, for Sinners, they did it in a couple rounds, actually. Here, not so much. Anonymo not quite there in time. Nobody dies. Comes close, but the throwaway round easily go in the way of Anonymo.
Yeah, indeed. But the CT money, look at it. It's starting to get so far out of control. And as much as this start to this Inferno game was trading blows, Anonymo banked up so much cash now. It's going to be so hard to force them back on towards the eco and for Double Pony to have a very strong T half. Nevertheless, they're full invested here. Kind of trading of utility just to kick this one off onto Banana. Snatchy, so much confidence every single round. No fear at all in terms of facing that mid position. Certainly, whenever he's confident, there's no warp in play on that T side. He's going to peek all day long. He's going to take every opportunity. So many nades again being traded in Banana. Yet to see any frags, some damage being done, but these players are going to fall back. Banana control, though, ceded to Double Pony.
And for the first time in a long time, okay, never mind. I was going to say, it feels like no one's died in the early exchanges. And then before I even get the bloody words out, Snatchy is around the corner with a frag. Regardless, man advantage remains as always. What is the game plan here? We've got a boost at new box, player at CT, and Mr. Innocent somewhere in between. Looks like he will just post up here towards first oranges. Nice little smoke. Keep them at bay. You want to go through that, boys? They've only got 35 seconds. It will be a bit of a dangerous one. Big nade damage, though. So maybe there is a solid idea to go for. Like I say, the boost up here will be very scary indeed. Snacks has got a couple angles to look at. Oh, no kill coming in for him. He will go down. Innocent going to try and get the double. Gets it through. Lucky with the trade, but Snatchy is here to make things interesting. Exercise brings it down to the 1 versus 2. At the very least, will get the bomb plant. Little panicked here, you can see, as he goes for the A1S, you know, and back to the AK. Now he's trapped in at first oranges, and as soon as he peeks out, Rallen will take him down. 6th round for Anonymo, starting to swing more and more in their favor. You have to remember, yes, it's 6-4. Pistol goes the way of Double Pony, though, and the rifles have come in play. Anonymo look very good.
Yeah, indeed. Snatchy, though, making the perfect reads. He recognizes there's a lot of presence on Banana, so he rotates over. They lean free towards B, picks up that first AWP frag. And then he continues to make the reads. He's like, there's not been enough A. I'm going to stay B. I'm so sure it's going to be B. And he was in the right place at the right time. Snacks boosted. Can't get too much done, but Innocent baited in. He's in towards oranges. 2 massive frags. And Snatchy, of course, chiming in as well for good measures. So, Anonymo carrying on where they left off in terms of CT side play. Their money is still completely out of control. And Double Pony are going to struggle so much to get beyond 5 rounds in this half. Just from the economic perspective. A faster approach, it seems, this time on Banana from the Frenchman. They've got that control at the start, and Snatchy overzealous, and this time he is punished. Rallen trying to find the trade, he gets his dink up, but for the moment it looks like advantage Double Pony, and Jocko doubles that advantage.
As we've said, the swing back and forth continues to take place here. Jocko with the nice little off angle will get traded out with a 4-on-2. Should, okay, come on now. Should be doable, but a 3-on-2 has actually looked a little less doable because we've got 2 players with very low HP. You know he's in towards cold. Nice little bit of spam there. We'll finish him off nicely as Afro gets the pre-fire. So, crisis averted. At least for now. Innocent's still around. Got 10k. Might as well go for it. But 1 versus 3 on the A-bomb site with no information. You know, he's not in the thick of it. Not in the mixer. So it is going to be hard. And he's flanked out. Dead in about 3 seconds. Or not. Okay. I don't know what's going on here, but Body absolutely should have found that kill and has just jumped the gun a bit early. Walk out behind him. He does have a kit available, but he wasn't ready for Lucky. So, again, crisis averted, but Double Pony, it does need tightening up ever so slightly, a couple of mishaps within that round.
Yeah, indeed. So nice opening picks. Not quite sure what happened here, to be honest. Not Body's best day in the office. But they still find the round. The problem is they lost a lot of numbers. That CT side money is still completely formidable here. Going to be a couple more gun rounds before that gets broken. So Double Pony, they are far from out of the woods yet. This could still be a brilliant CT round from Anonymo. 3 towards Banana to kick it off for the Polish squad. It's Rallen dancing with the devil. He comes out at the top, of course. A1S, always a good weapon to be spamming those smokes with. And it goes well for him. Early advantage for Anonymo. And looking at the minimap, they're starting to get some control as well towards Banana.
Looks pretty good in that sense. The smoke going to dissipate here. Rallen comes through for a freebie. Setup for Afro is ready for the trade, but still retaining the man advantage, gaining more information. Jocko with a hopeful run through the Molotov, and now the Banana presence comes into play. Snacks to find the final frag. Double Pony crumbling, falling apart at the seams. And yeah, completely different team from round number 11, that's for sure. Now we move into 13 as Anonymo still hold on to that lead. Double Pony, though, making the half look good. You know, 5, 6 is kind of what you want to aim for in a half that maybe you're not doing too well in, that you're not so confident with. But all the same, the map has started to lean more towards this T side, actually. Again, the A1S changes, I think, for me, are massive on a map like this, but still, I think Double Pony would probably want a bit more out of this after winning the pistol. Hence, why they've called it time down. Time out. These words this evening for you and I are a little hard to come by, apparently.
Who knows? Maybe it's the clocks change.
Yeah.
We're out of sync, and of course, we also start an hour later than expected earlier for this series. Money, though, in the bin for Double Pony. They're just going for the half buy on this occasion. A few Tech 9s in play, plenty of nades, so still have an opportunity, and here we are, Scriv. Nades being dropped over. We like to see it. Feel like there's a lot of experimentation yet to come with these nades. And I imagine in a few months, the CT sides of a few maps are going to look very different to what the update allows. For the moment, though, leaning a lot of numbers over towards A right now or Anonymo. Playing in towards mid. Snatchy's up close on that AWP. He's peeking round the smoke. And he gets forced back in the end. Nades now starting to rain over. Long smoke just for the moment. Nade does a bit of damage. Flashes for that mid control. They're going to explode behind it, and that was one heck of a shot. Rallen pinned in behind default, trying to fall back, and just about does. And it was a little bit scary for a few seconds, but it looks like this CT side is beginning to stabilize. Just after remaining, has the ult, but he gets spammed down. Oh, that was a monster opening pick on that deagle, but didn't quite play out in the end for Double Pony.
Unfortunate, very unfortunate. But proving...
His deagle is ridiculous.
First of all, yeah, that they can still be a danger. Second of all, that Jocko is probably one of the best Deagle players at this level. No joke. If not, giving a run for the money to some of the, players that are higher up.
It's honestly every cast we do of Double Pony.
Yeah.
2 or 3, 4 spies and eco rounds, he wins them single-handedly. He's just completely ridiculous how good he is on that gun.
Crazy guy. Afro. Flame's making it a bit awkward, but he will take down Snatchy, which is a key player. You know, he's found so many early openers. Yes, it is Rallen on this map. Having a quiet performance on Ancient. Taking a moment in between, and he has turned things around in a big way, but Snatchy's not been too far behind him. The early uncontested pickup. The dream for Double Pony right now, because it's been so hard to come across kills like that in this first half. I'd argue for both teams, and they might just be able to get another one here. The smoke, I don't think Worked for Raul, and I don't quite know what's happened there with it. He definitely left-clicked it onto the floor. Maybe he got the wrong nade out. Maybe it was just classic CSGO from time to time. Good find from Kylar. We'll bring it back into a 4-on-3.
Really drop the pace now. Have double pony. It's just Kylar isolated on this bomb site. They've decided we're going to stack 2 on B. Going to lean in that direction. And Kylar, it seems soon enough, will be called upon to put in a lot of heavy lifting. Moto smoke goes down. Flash from body. Kylar takes contact, but he's being wrapped immediately. And he falls. Now, this is actually quite an interesting one, Scrib, because they have the money to try this retake. They have so much money in the bank. The next is the last. So I think, despite being a 2-on-4, Snacks and Innocent are going to give this their best go.
Absolutely would expect them to do so. Slowly moving their way in. They're pretty split, which is the big thing. And in just a second here, double peeking at middle. It's a nice dink from Innocent. Doesn't really matter whether he'd found the kill or not, because of course he'd be dead to right. Snacks, meanwhile, sticking around, making life difficult. Will go down. Still, I don't know, stats. And there is obviously that chance there that you never know, a crazy double, triple might happen for one of them. Not going to happen, however, as we will indeed be into the final round of the first half. 9-6 or 8-7. Those are our 2 options.
Just defaulting out for the moment. Double pony. 3 towards banana. 2 towards those apartments. Actually, Ralen is aggressively into that balcony room in the apartments. Kylar also is aggressive in towards Longhall, while Snatch is close mid on that AWP. Lucky, playing around his smoke. There's a player on his left. Snacks is going to fall immediately. Afro chimes in with the second. Ralen, he is aggressive, but he gets traded out for good measure. And double pony, so many openings in this round. Anonymo, for my money, getting over eager individually, and they've been punished this time around. Front of the smoke, yeah, Molotov even is Snatchy. He gets felled, and it looks like we're set 7 rounds from the Frenchman.
Certainly looks to be the case. I mean, could have been a hell of a lot worse. Anonymo with the rifles, as we mentioned a couple times, have had a bit more consistency. Double pony towards the end, finding some more energy. And as we talked about, it is that T side that Anonymo really did struggle with. We'll have to see moving into the second half whether it's going to be the same case here on Inferno. Catch you in a few.
Oh, I see the signs and I see we're there. And I feel the lies and I feel the sand. Forever who we are. No matter if we're cast away. A fire in the dark. I know that you won't be where we know we're again.
Alrighty then, welcome back in for half number 2. As promised, there are always quick breaks here on the B stream, that is for sure. But we are back with the pistol. Double Pony been finding a lot of success with these pistols, actually. Almost entirely, it feels like. I think we're looking at them down the barrel of a pretty convincing pistol win rate. So we'll see. We'll see. Anonymo have got some plans. Quite clearly, fair amount of utility makes a lot of sense on Inferno. It's what you generally expect to see. Meanwhile, on the other side, we don't have a kit, but we have 2 smokes, 3 flashes. What do you think about that?
Very interesting. And Matt and Exercise even, he's been dropped a flash. He's got the body armor, but you can see him on the minimap. He's priming it there. He's in first oranges. The moment body here takes contact, that flash is going to rain over. And he's going to go for the peek. Here comes the nades and the flash, soon to be dropped by Exercise. There it is. They're going to peek out. Not the best timing. Body gets whited up himself. First kill does go with Exercise, but swiftly traded. Body gifted a freebie through the smoke. He'll take that any day of the week. And now the rotates. They're going to start to come in. It looks like Anonymo are recognizing we're man down here. We need to get aggressive. And they're going to go free towards Ruins. And oh god, this is going to be an absolute meat grinder here, Scrib. There's 6 players in 4 square meters. And Snatchy is having a whale of a time. 3 frags go his way. Lucky. No kits. No body armor. No chance. Anonymo, they haul it back. And so many frags from Snatchy there in the Ruins area.
Yeah. Lovely to see. Always fun. Double Pony, though. Dropping the pistol going to be tough for them now, as we have said throughout the rifles. Not looked as hot from them, but it is a switch of halves. Still have the force buy to get through, which have been very, very difficult over the past few months, for sure. So we'll see. Double Mac 10. Oh, Afro with the drive-by. And, well, Innocent gets a little upgrade to the AK, but that early, easy, you know, no map control, needing to be conceded, blah, blah, blah. No utility. You know, that's a perfect frag to start off in a round like this.
Yeah, and Jocko Deagle in hand. Who's to say? Some El Clasico magic might not be on the cards. He's aggressively actually in towards the apartments right now. Still playing towards his half-full area's body. He's going to get isolated. As Jocko is starting to peek. Oh, he could have a massively brilliant timing here. Oh, he doesn't peek out at the right time and they slip through the net. Jocko is still aggressively in the apartments and that was not the ideal smoke. Really sad to see. That one, that was an even worse Molotov. What is going on here with the nades? I don't think it's going to matter. But, yeah, we're not going to see Nart breaking down these nades, that's for sure. Jocko, coming in from the apartments, does find one. Innocent catches Exercise. Trying to cause some mischief. Then it's just Jocko remaining. He's got his deagle kill. His mandatory 1 deagle kill per eco, but he's out of there. He'll be saving his armor.
Indeed, indeed. I mean, it kind of does feel that way, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's somewhere within the sort of loose contracts that these Double Pony players have. Jocko's requirements with the Deagles, his quotas that he's got to fill per week. Either way, Anonymo doing really, really well to recover that one back, actually. It was, as we said, a poor start because you lose that just kill you can't really do anything about. In a round like this, Double Pony will take a kill like that and just run away with it. However, the B players get a little overzealous. You know, there has to come a point, even though, yes, it is a force buy, you've got the license to play a bit more aggressive. I think you get this kill, and someone's going to go, right, it's winnable. Let's chill. I know you guys wanted to push Banana or you wanted to take some jump peaks with your Mag 7, whatever it is. But let's maybe put that on the back burner for now and just not give them the kill back in the next 10 to 15 seconds. And, well, clearly a comm like that doesn't really come in and the kill does go back. And then they've got all the control they need.
Yeah, indeed. I side with you on that one, especially on Inferno, when you've got upgraded pistols and you've got some smokes. You know, it's so easy to block those choke points, and especially when you get the opening kill, they're going to put the anchors straight on, and Jocko, this guy, man, every single time, maybe it is in his contract, I'm not sure, he chimes in, so again, it might just be the pistols in play, but they have found the opening pick. They're going to lean over towards B, so they're kind of gambling that Anonymo are not going to follow up on where the frag was. There is some information now from Jocko, but he can't get anything else done. And Double Pony, it looks a little bit silly, but come on, they're on the pistols, they're on the eco. They got the first kill on A. Who can blame them? I kind of agree with the decision, but yeah, it's going to be 11 for Anonymo. It looks like they should keep numbers alive, and from a very difficult ancient game, from a very difficult ancient pick, they're looking in pole position now to close this one out.
Certainly, I think 1 or 2 rifle rounds and then we'll end up being convinced that a third map is going to be required. And I think you and a smug way, would perhaps hope that that's going to be the case, that you can say, I told you so. Don't be picking the Inferno against these newer lineups. Oh, I thought it was the triple, not quite for Kylar. All the same, he makes his money. And kind of a nice touch. Body sends them off with the Mag 7 because he's not going to use that in the next round, but he absolutely will be using this Kevlar. So decides not to go with them. And indeed will save it through to the next round, shaving 650 off of his purchase. So again, a nice touch maybe if you are wanting to min-max the economy of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, indeed. And just to expand on that one, it's not that I necessarily think that Inferno's a bad pick, or it's a bad pick in general for Double Pony. It's just for me, when there's such an obvious choice of a heavily tactical map like Nuke, you know, what could an Anonymo have done in a matter of days to get Nuke together? Even so, better put a pause on that. The aggression's coming out. Double Pony, and they're not holding back at all. 3 players aggressively in second mid. It doesn't work out. They can't find the frags initially. There is a trade with good information now for Anonymo. They're starting to accelerate over towards B. Fortunately, Afro is in attendance as well. He's playing wide over towards Emo, and he's caught out. Molly's starting to rein in as well for good measure. Exercise. He's pinned in now into a second orange. There's a spray through the smoke. This has been an incredibly hectic round. We do find ourselves in a 2-on-2. Lucky's on the fast flank. He might be catching out. Oh, he gets dinked up. But it's just a pistol in play for Snacks. Falling apart for Anonymo, and Double Pony clinch an extremely important round.
Yeah, there is the linchpin play there. It's this one on the replay, so thank you very much, Mr. Observer, because this was exactly what I was going to talk about. I think you've got to commit the bomb there and just go for the plant. I know it's kind of difficult. Maybe they think there's definitely one player that they know in and around that CT smoke. If you go for the bomb plant in the 2v2 and there's 2 players there, you're going to leave one isolated and one defenseless, actually. So I maybe get the idea, but whatever you do in a 2-on-2, I think you have to do together. So if I'm going to go back and let's go A, all right, I need to then cross this CT smoke and forget about the fight that could come in there. Might get sprayed down, sure, but at the very least, we know that we've done the best that we can to make this round doable. As it was, they split and allow 2-1 versus 1s to come in, which is never the way that we like playing things in a 2 versus 2 scenario.
No, certainly not. And to even strengthen that point, a new lineup, surely you should be taking the simplest approaches. Why overcomplicate things at all? Make it as easy to follow as you can. Anonymo, they've already got top banana control. They're already leaning 4 players in that direction. They've had a lot of kind of opening duel success, I would say, on this B-bomb. So they've been able to get onto the site a lot of the time. Enemy body. And Exci's called upon that incredibly strong position out there. Boosted on the new box. He finds the first. He baits in body as well. They didn't really expect another player to be around new box. But body's completely trapped, and he still finds a second. Playing whack-a-mole now with that player in towards pool. Molly comes out. The rotator here, and Lucky... no luck required on that 2K. Double Pony striking back. Anonymo on the eco. This is a razor-tight match now.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 very, very important rounds to break the back, to convince us and maybe even themselves that Double Pony can come back into this, especially with the...
oh, they're full forcing as well.
Convincing manner. Or are they? Isn't this interesting? We have 3 players forcing. Those would be the core players, and then 2 players not doing so. One is the AWP. Don't see it as much on the T side of Inferno, but still the other, no real reason not to force here. So certainly curious, and they are making it a little shaky, let's say. Bomb plant certainly on the cards here. M4's retrieved for those 2 players. Innocent, though, again, hiding away and not quite committing to the bomb plant just yet. They're maybe hoping to find another kill with a great deal of time that they have available, in all fairness. 3-on-2 should still be doable for Double Pony, but they need to be careful with how they approach it. And I think that's what Anonymo are trying to set up for, is forcing some errors out from the T side.
Playing it together in towards ruins. Zafro and Lucky Jocko. At the same time, he peeks out, takes a little bit of damage, but finds the frag in the end. Just Innocent remaining. Only 39 HP. He does get another, so it is reasonably good economic damage. So there's a crumb of comfort from that angle. But overall, I think they'll take that one. Interesting buy, as you mentioned, coming out from Anonymo. It seemed like Anonymo 4 Sports and AGO was saving. So a bit interesting. I'm not sure what was happening there. 10-11, nevertheless, is the scoreline. Ralen, he's gone for the hero AK. It's another eco, of course, coming out from Anonymo off the back of the Force buy. So double Pony, a golden opportunity now to make this an even match and maybe even bank up some cash. Nade starting to rain in. Jocko aggressively in towards long, playing up close and personal. He's having a whale of a time. Afro, he's got an AWP, and he's in pit at the moment. The rotates, though, should make it in time. Bomb is dropped in towards the porch side. Afro, he still have to worry about long at the same time. He could get caught in 2 mines, but he's hitting every single shot. He's getting called upon. Kylar, it's a nice frag, but what can he do here? Getting flanked by body. He's going to go down, and double Pony up against a hero AK and some pistols. 3 alive isn't a bad result, and now it's an even game.
Kind of gifted that round as well by some very weird, economic decisions at the moment from this Anonymo side. Players with armor, players without armor. Ralen's on a Deeg this round. Snatchy does have the AWP, but a lack of utility. Bit weird for me. Bit weird. And it speaks to this thing that, we were touching on the T side of Ancient, where it's very, very obvious there that the comms were kind of all over the place. These are basic comms. Getting your economy sorted is very basic stuff. Innocent going to be naded down pretty low. Flash comes in. Boost up comes round. They just, I think, miss the opportunity. Oh, he's still there. He's still there. Yeah, and there you are. They will indeed take him down. So Innocent, unfortunately, just penned in, trapped on low HP. Not much you can do about that.
Yeah, and in terms of the comms, it's always quite amazing when you change players, especially a big overhaul like Anonymo have done. It's kind of the things that you just sort of assume, or you've kind of a muscle memory in the comms and stuff.
Right.
And it's things like that where I guarantee you Anonymo said, let's force up. And then a couple of the players are like, oh, we're just half buying, and the other ones are full. So it's always a bit interesting, and yeah, it's kind of growing pains of every new squad. Yeah. Nevertheless, they retake Banana. They get the frag. It's a 4-on-4. Looking much more doable now for Anonymo in this round.
I can 100% agree. Maybe if they say something like, let's buy, that can be interpreted in a few different ways. For sure. Ooh, while blind, Afro will take out Snatch a little ahead of the smokes. Again, these small things that are allowing opportunities to arise for Double Pony.
Oh, the
Great molly. Smoke goes down to allow the bomb plant to come in the default spot. But of course, as you say, it's buying time for the flank, and that flank might just end the round. Kylar going to drop. The bomb has yet to be planted, and that's the round. They don't necessarily need to be going for this, but they might as well. Snatchy trapped in enough. It's still a lot of damage from Anonymo, but things are looking somewhat desperate with the way they're approaching these rounds. Yeah, timeout coming in for Anonymo, as confirmed in our ears there, I think makes a lot of sense, because all of a sudden, they look like a shadow of themselves.
Yeah, indeed. They're just starting to crumble, in my opinion, and clearly, based on the information we have of the T side of their map pick in Ancient, there are a lot of issues, a lot of communication problems, a lot of, lacking chemistry and small team play errors. So no surprises to see the pause coming out in Double Pony. They're on the CT side. They look great on the CT side of Ancient, and given how this one's played out so far, it would be unusual, almost idiotic, I guess, and not to back them. Anonymo money, it's back in the bin. Feels like it's been the story of this T-half. They haven't even found so many bomb plants, to be honest. Double Pony, their money's far from out of control, but they're racking the rounds together. So half buy, partial buys coming out from Anonymo. They've got plenty of Deegs in play, plenty of nades, but no rifles to speak of. So unless they get a lot of work done with this utility, it's going to be real tricky.
Real tricky indeed. Nice jump spot here from Kylar. Got many names. That Banana is one I've heard, or Bananas is one I've heard recently for whatever reason. Maybe the vines, something like that. Snacks, though, with the help of a bit of a Molotov, will catch off bodies. So that's a nice early opener. Oh, and maybe a little more as Exercise is forced back. Flash comes over. Rotations from A here. Definitely a chance for Anonymo. Oh, the Flash has not quite made it. The kill does come in, just the one, but Exercise left out in the open. Gets another. It's Rollin with the double dig. And that's ridiculous. The second frag especially has set them in great stead. And you look at the mini-map. Afro is checking his angles, maybe seeing if someone gets aggressive, but I think with the money that, well, isn't available for Double Pony, you just got to save now. Nothing coming their way here in the early post-plant, so indeed, Anonymo force a 12th.
Well, if they wanted an opportunity to regain some composure and haul themselves right back into contention in this map, that was exactly the manner to do it in. What should have been a 13-11 scoreline with money in the bank for Double Pony has turned to ash. It's going to be 12-12. Money's in the bin for Double Pony. They'll have to force up in the following round. Lucky can drop one rifle, but there's definitely going to be a couple players here a little bit worse for wear in terms of the Double Pony squad. Back to an even game then. Anonymo plenty of money in the bank. Of course, they just won an eco round, so couldn't ask for much more economically. Rallen here. Deagle in hand. Finds the first, and the second is magnificent. Even game. We're all tied up, and Double Pony, they're full invested. Oh, God. This whole map feels like it's on an absolute knife edge.
Certainly, I mean, playing into the fact that Ancient felt that way. Body going to eat a nade massively here. Jocko goes for the peek. It's Lucky down middle. Will find a couple of kills. Flash comes in, but the trade from Banana is not quite there. He eventually has to reload. We've got this player at Logs, who maybe was pinned in, it looked like, slightly, but I feel could have really helped out for the trade there. Kind of not doing so. Curious. It's hard to tell without looking at their POV, but you've got an MP9 player holding you down. I think you can ignore that player at least for a second and then spin around to protect yourself. And I felt like with Lucky's position, the amount of T bodies that were there, he should have been dead after one, but it's not the case. And the 2 versus 2 does indeed look very doable for Double Pony.
Kylar seems absolutely adamant there has to be a player aggressively from A. Looking all over the place. Bit of a fake from Snacks to try and pull a reaction. Afro. Looking at your minimap, you can see just now it's starting to push out of apartments and in towards mid. So this could be a real matter of timing here. Afro's speeding right up on the flank. Oh, just round the corner, but they're shifting in as Afro's coming in from behind.
Yep.
Oh, the timing is so close here. Every second, Afro inches closer and closer and closer. Exercise as well for good measure. Kyler has got the bomb. Got to start planting soon. 12 seconds, 11 seconds, 10 seconds. These CDs are coming in. Snacks domes the first. Traded out for the second. Kylar behind, new box, and that might be a series. Well, I mean, map before then, but maybe in the end, a series winning frag. What a huge one-on-one in the end from Kylar.
Yeah, the kill from Snacks especially. Yeah, he was not ready for it.
Christ.
And he gets it. So if he goes down 2v1 against an AWP, you know, you absolutely put your money on Double Pony there. Crazy. Timeout coming in, indeed, from the Frenchman, as to be expected. Money in the bin, as we like to say.
Yes,
so we'll
indeed.
see. We'll see. This is a very, very difficult decision, I think, that they have to make, and a very, very difficult few rounds if they're wanting to win their own map pick of Inferno.
You know, actually, if you want to frame this match in general in the bigger picture of the season, we kind of talked about it in the pre-game, but a big topic here is that Anonymo is going to grow a lot with time. And they're going to get only better, and they're making a lot of mistakes now, which they will probably not be making by the end of the season. And given the group, if Double Pony can't capitalize and win this series when Anonymo are having a lot of mistakes and a lot of communication and team play issues, you've actually got to worry for them when it comes to the end of the season. So Double Pony, they're starting to slip away from them here on Inferno. They've had a lot of opportunities, and yeah, If they can't beat Anonymo, when Anonymo are a little bit rusty around the edges, they'll be a little bit disappointed. Just the eco though on this round, so it looks like Anonymo are going to make it to 14.
Some good nade damage so far and some well-timed nades. Will leave Snacks very low indeed. However, it's only the 2 players on B. Smokes to come over. Ollie's quickly going to follow up here. Could be a bit funky. We got some players watching the extremities. I think there's a chance for a kill if it were me, but with the kill coming in towards A, and now a second, bomb is going to head over there. Nice find from Lucky on the Julies. Body falls to the lurking AWP of Snatchy. There's an AK retrieve for Lucky, but they're actually going to wrap towards B via the CT area. Catch an exercise. That indeed will be the round. They know exactly where Lucky is, and now they'll turn around and go for the hunt. So 14th comes in. I think if there was a bit more armor and maybe a bit more aggression, I think they could have caught a couple more kills for my money, but not the case. Not the way it goes.
Just on the A-bomb site then, here's Lucky. Innocent, close by, Innocent for the moment. He's not checking the bomb site, he's just up in the graveyard. Lucky then gives away his positioning. Rallin. He's in the apartments. Not quite spot the CT for the moment, but there it is. And here we go. 14 for Anonymo. Money. Finally, in the double pony camp, they can get a full buyout here. First for a long time, it feels like. And Anonymo, they won a 1-on-1 in a very dicey scenario. They won a kind of half by round, an eco round just before that. And double pony, looking so strong early on in this half, but now it's crunch time. They have to win this one. They have to stem the tide. They have to get this a lot closer than it has been the last couple of rounds. So many players in towards Banana aggressively. Ollie's coming out. Body is behind the half wall. As Afro does catch Innocent lurking through. There's still 2 more, and Afro chiming in with a second. The nades are too strong. There's another player being forced back with the bomb. That's Snacks. But Anonymo gonna have a real tough time now. 3-on-5.
Massive moment once again from Afro, able to bail things out. Jocko with a quick dink. Preemptive smoke, of course, as the Molotov comes in, as to be expected. Nice swing out from him. We'll make sure the trade is in here. Ooh, and even the flick up. Lovely stuff from Jocko to get his 18th. Capable on the A1S, as well as the Deagle, it would appear. 13th round for Double Pony. Comes pretty easily, actually. Anonymo do have the money just about. Ooh, actually, maybe not. I would imagine that's what they're thinking about currently. Snacks, yeah, okay, they're even going to go for a timeout for it. Snacks could drop, but maybe just a Galil. You know, I don't know whether you want to fully commit to this. It looks like they will buy. Though,
they will buy.
Innocent's going to go for it. Okay. I think that's fair. With the lateness of the game, there's got to be a Galil in here somewhere, though, unless they... Oh, yeah, Kylar. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I was going to say, there's got to be one somewhere. Not ideal, but definitely workable. Are you kidding? Like, you can make this work on Inferno.
Body, though. Secondary AWP. We'll see if that comes into any great effect. As we're reaching crunch time here on Inferno. Round 28. Double Pony, just about 1 map to the good, taking their opponent's map pick of Ancient. This one's Inferno. This is the map pick of Double Pony. We criticised it a little bit in the pre-game. And Afro doing his best to prove us right. Jocko does get the trade. He's been so aggressive this whole half, man, in towards the apartments, finding so much success. I don't feel like we see it so much, but Jocko looking pretty good here on the CT side.
So 1 for 1 at the moment. The B-bomb site does have a slightly more passive setup. They bought themselves some time with the smoke coming in to reset, as it were. Anonymo looking a little lost for ideas. Still a player in the apartments. The boiler Molotov will force him out. Another at long hauls in the form of Body, though, with the secondary AWP. They might think they've dealt with the AWP issue, taking down Afro. Not sure it's going to be the case. Still a dangerous weapon. Misses a shot. Oh, could cost him his life. Watch this player in the form of Rallen as well in the apartments that's looking to find the pit player. Cheeky peek from Jocko, not able to find anything. Flash in towards long hauls. Also not able to find anything. There's Body. However, he will melt down. Oh, and Jocko doesn't find his kill. 3 versus 2. Looking good for Anonymo to get number 15. In come the B players, though. Looking relatively proactive. But that smoke comes in, and that kind of just seals your deal when you're a B rotator. Yeah, they know it. They're going to save, and Anonymo, at the very least, will hit the map point.
Been a long and arduous journey. Perhaps a little bit of fortune along the way, but they've hauled it back, and I think it's safe to say, Scrib, if they'd just closed out a couple of those afterplants on T-side Ancient, we could be looking at a very different complexion to this series right now. Nevertheless, Anonymo, map point on their opponent's map pick to take this series 1-1. Double Poney, the buy is going to be a bit ragtag. That's a really important save, actually. They pick up the AWP in the end, so they can drop a couple rifles here. The buy is going to be pretty decent still in the Double Poney squad, so by no means going to be an easy one for Anonymo. Another timeout coming in. This time, a little bit surprisingly, it's Anonymo, I guess, considering they've looked good in the last few rounds. I guess just taking it slow, talking this one through. They know the opportunity that's in front of them. Their money isn't great, so if they were to lose this one, could be staring down the barrel of overtime. So, round 29, so close to that max round 30. For me, a much more entertaining affair than we saw in Ancient, despite the scorelines being very similar. Here we go, though. Do or die, can Double Poney get this to overtime? Only 2 rounds required.
So close yet so far, I think, might be the phraseology here. It does depend, of course, how these next, well, 1 or 2 rounds go. Early smoke in towards Banana. As Anonymo do not want to mess with that. Looks like they're edging more towards the A-bomb site, and with the deep smoke coming in, we will indeed see 4 players with Double Poney ready and waiting. Leaving, ooh, maybe the AWP out. Boost is well-timed, well-placed. Oh, and I was going to say this next fight could be important, but it's Body with the creep in to deny Kylar the opportunity. Brilliant stuff, 4 on 3. Double Poney setting themselves up well.
Mid-stack there, paying dividends. Nade as well. Oh, look at that. That is a juicy one. Snatching Rallen. Taking oh so low. Ready in this round. It's still just Afro on that B-bomb site. Alone on the AWP. He can play retake, take a few shots and fall back as Jocko. He's not with his teammate. He gets isolated. That might be a little bit of a mistake creeping in. He's allowed Anonymo to make it a 3-on-3. A whole trio of them up in towards mid. And unfortunately, it seems we've still got the bug every time, isn't it? We're just getting into the hype moments, just building up the tension, and then what do you have it? The bug strikes again. Irrespective, Anonymo, I guess, they did clinch that round, so 1 map apiece. Exciting stuff.
Indeed, it very much is. And now we move on to Nuke, of course. The next map coming up in a few moments' time is that map that we kind of look towards as actually maybe being a wise pick here for Double Poney, but it maybe sends, with the way that things have been so close, it maybe sends those types of ideas out the window a little bit, and the scrap, you know, the gloves off kind of attitude here could indeed come into play. We'll have to see how Double Poney bounce back going into the 3rd and final. We'll be back in a few moments with Nuke.